This could be the most perfect pairing ever. Hey everyone, welcome to the final consignment update that we're going to do before the next auction on the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th of September. Today is the 4th of August, which means it is consignment deadline day. So we're actually really busy and we probably don't have a lot of time for this, but we did promise you we'd do one more this week before we start uploading some really cool video demos. So, and we do not break promises.
It's the consignment update encore.
Yeah. So we are here and we have understandably had some amazing things in because we are in the last week and all the good stuff tends to come at the end. But we will get on with it really quickly, get onto it and have a look at what we've had coming in. So we have something properly old, an antique guitar, because we do sell antique guitars. We get quite a lot of them, but we don't feature them enough. So this is a Louis Panormo, and they are rare. Amazingly, we've had a lot of them. We actually had 3 in the last sale. There's me saying they're rare, but they are incredibly rare things, and they're very well made, sort of small body parlour guitars. So this is, I believe this is 1837, this one it is, so it's a really good period for the maker. You can see that this one has had work. We've got some repair cracks in the top, very fine-grained spruce on the top there, and the stunning Brazilian rosewood back, which has been really well matched, 2-piece back that's been well matched. Got sort of the ivory discs, ivory tuners, the original Baker engraved brass machines. But that is a really nice thing. So here we have another incredibly old guitar. You can see the architectural rosette, stunning thing. It's pretty much all made out of pine. So again, because it'd be early 18th century, so really old. Probably Spanish, could be Italian. We're not entirely sure. But the crazy thing about this is it weighs 720 grams, which is nothing. I mean, it's
like holding a stack of, not even a stack of paper.
I mean, it's less than a bag of sugar, a standard bag of sugar. It's so light, and it's playable. But again, a really rare collectible thing, and it doesn't even really have any major repairs. So to think that is that old, like I said, early 18th century. So before we get into the more modern things, another very old guitar. This one early 19th century, a maker based in Brighton called Menke, and very much in the style of Panormo, very much like the Panormo guitar we had. This one with 2-piece figured maple back, as opposed to the Brazilian rosewood on the Panormo. But it's got the very Panormo type head, engraved tuners, the Rance tuners, sort of very typical for guitars of this period. And yeah, the very foliate mustachio bridge, unkempt moustache, and the lovely pateray design there. But again, a good thing. So we have 2 Chet Atkins Gibsons in the sale already. So we have a standard CE model and the other one with the well, we've got the 2 different C models, with the one with a skinnier nut and one with a wider nut, and then to complete the package we've got the SST model as well. So we're nearly completing the set of all the Chet Atkins Gibsons. So there we go, sort of hybrid electric guitar with the star inlays is the unique thing about this model. Doesn't have the sound hole like the other ones, but yeah, another Chet Atkins model from the 90s. Another Gibson. And here we have a 1997 Gibson Nighthawk. So this is the standard, just with the 2 pickups. So we've got the angled humbucker there and the mini humbucker in the neck. These are really cool little guitars. And like I said, from 1997, this one, sunburst finish, and the condition is okay. There's a few marks on the finish, a little bit of wear to the plating, but otherwise it's good to go with the original gig bag. Apart from this being, it's bound to be a Les Paul. I don't actually know, or can't remember what's in here. So let's take a look. So there we go. It's a Gibson Les Paul Standard from 2014. Nicely flame top there.
It's a really nice top on that, actually.
Yeah, and it's in great condition. Can't see anything wrong with that at all. With the original case. So we have another modern Gibson. I've got no idea what's happened to the original case, but it is a genuine Gibson, and this is a 61 Reissue SG. So sort of more 61 spec, and I really like them, being a big SG fan.
Me too.
Nice. And speaking of Chet Atkins earlier in the video, Chet Atkins strikes again. So here we have a Tennessean model. So this one is from 2003. Tennessean model there, and the only change on this is you will see it's got the Bigsby of the Vibramate, so that's been added, so non-intrusive to the guitar. So the stop bar has been taken off with the Vibramate put in, which installs the Bigsby without the need to drill any holes. So there we go, another Chet Atkins. Rickenbacker bass. So many artists well known, well, probably more so for the 4001 model. This is a slightly later 1980s 4003 model, with the 4001 not being around at this point, but that is the next best thing. So I believe that these plates are changed. They don't quite fit right, but everything else seems to be as it should be. Got the original case. So for those of you who are into the Lemmy thing,
Lemmy or Rush, I guess.
Or Rush, or who else?
I guess.
Yes. Yeah. Who else?
Becky Baldwin.
Who else? What are your favourite bands?
Oh, of course, Cliff Burton.
Cliff Burton, the best Rickenbacker owner or user in this man's opinion. From the 80s, we have a lesser spotted to, I mean you can find them around, but lesser spotted to most Yamaha YSG series. Very high end, made in Japan. Very good guitars with the lovely plush orange line case. These are really cool, mainly because they've just got one control knob. What more do you need?
Exactly. It's a bit overkill having 4, isn't it?
Yeah. So 2011 Fender Cabronita Telecaster. This is the Telebration guitar for the 60th anniversary, the 60-year plate there. So 2011 60th anniversary, Telebration, Cabronita, Telecaster with the original case, and I think they're just a really, really cool design. Now this is a really cool Telecaster, but we are in severe player's grade territory with this one. So this is 1969, so we're the Type 1 Telecaster, but this has got all sorts of issues, but it is a really cool thing. It's nice and lightweight, so it's got a refinished body, but it's actually quite a good refinish, but you will notice it's got various holes where someone has put a standard Tele scratch plate on it at some point, and they've also chiselled out, quite untidily actually, chiselled out for a I guess a mini humbucker at some point. Bridge isn't original, the neck pickup isn't original. This pickup is original, but it's missing its base plate for some reason, and it's got some inventive earthing underneath there as well. So even though it's a cool late 60s Fender, it does have its issues, but we're in players grade price territory. So if you're after a 69 Thinline Tele and you don't want to spend a lot, then this could be the one. So we're going to have a quick break from guitars just to show something that is quite cool. Got a lot of good memorabilia in this cell, some really lovely pieces actually, very historic pieces, and I really like this, which is Boris the Spider. So this was a sketch done by John Entwistle of Boris the Spider that he was known for doing. This was consigned by the widow of a gentleman who was a wine merchant, and an acquaintance, a friend of John Entwistle's, and after a boozy night he drew this for his friend called Neil, and there it is. Like I said, unfortunately no longer with us.
He's even got like a bottle of wine in his
Yeah, there's Boris having a bit of his favourite tipple, signed by John Entwistle as well. So that's a really cool thing, and the Boris the Spider thing is a unique thing to John Entwistle, and used to do a lot of sketches that included Boris the Spider. So yeah, I think that's a really cool thing. This could be the most perfect pairing ever. Probably is the most perfect pairing to a lot of people, and is also a very rare thing. So in 2012, to celebrate Marshall's 50th anniversary, Gibson and Marshall teamed together to create this set. So this guitar is based on a 57, and you can see here you've got the Marshall script on the 12th fret, as well as the Jim Marshall truss rod cover. So yeah, based on a 57 with lightweight premium mahogany body, and these guitars were all hand aged by Tom Murphy himself. So we all know the reputation that Tom Murphy holds, now back at Gibson with the Murphy Lab. And then to go with it is a 50th anniversary Marshall 1962 model hand-wired Bluesbreaker amplifier. So to some, this is the perfect tone. A late 50s PAF loaded. These are Bluesbreaker PAF clones, but Bluesbreaker 1 and 2 in this guitar. So the PAF Les Paul thing through the Marshall Bluesbreaker, the classic British tone of some of those early bands, particularly Eric Clapton, amongst others. And yeah, made for the 50th anniversary, only 50 made as well. So a rare set, 50 made. And at the time there were only 15 shipped into the UK. So we don't know how many are still in the UK. There might not be that many. There may now be more, but it would cost a lot of money to ship one in if you had to go and find one from elsewhere. So this is all UK spec, UK voltage amp, and a really cool thing celebrating the 50th anniversary of Marshall. So if you're into Marshalls, you're into the Gibson Les Paul thing, then this is a really cool set, both with matching serial numbers, and one of 15 made. This is not an expensive guitar at all, but it's ridiculously cool. So this is a Vox that was made in Japan in approximately 1981. We see quite a lot of the standard 24 model of this guitar, sort of black finish, all with the through neck, and they're superb quality. But this is the custom bass, so we got slightly higher end appointments. We got this what does that switch do, remind me?
I think it was effectively works like an active set without needing a back. So you
it's on off for the active circuitry.
It's not a toggle, it's just flick it and then you get bassier low end and then a treblier treble end.
But really well made. Like I said, neck through design, Damasio pickups, all good hardware, and it has the original case. And this thing sounds huge. Really good guitar, plays really well. And if I were to guess, I think the hammer price would fall between £200 and £300. So you can't really go wrong.
That's not a lot for a really cool bass.
It's not a lot for a premium bass. Maybe I'm pushing the price up now by going on about it, but no, it really
is.
it really is an amazing bass. Let's just say it's an amazing bass for under £500. You won't. There'll be a lot of bass guitars that you have to pay over £1,000 for that won't touch the quality of this thing, or the sound. So if you want something, decent high output, have a look at this. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. It's a little bit heavy though. So we have another Rickenbacker, 2003. This one, 620 model. It's got this cresting wave on the bass side, but yeah, that's a nice clean fire glow finished 2003 620. So this came into us this morning as a last minute deadline day.
Oh wait, I didn't even know we had this.
So this is a St. Vincent model, as I'm sure lots of you know. So it's not a sterling, this is full-blown USA St. Vincent model with the gold foil pickups and the gold finish. Made in 2022. The owner bought this and has barely used it. I mean, when I say barely used it a handful of times. The condition's amazing. I plugged this into a PV Classic 30 earlier, obviously because I had to test the electronics. I was absolutely blown away. This thing's playability and the sound, and I was really surprised how much I liked it. Really high-end appointments, lovely sort of satin finish, roasted maple neck, ebony board. It's just a really cool thing. The trem system works really well, and with the original case and the papers, so it's basically as new. And these are about £3,500 new, and yeah, they're expensive. So have a look at the catalogue, because it's it could be a really good buy for someone. Great thing. So we have another Fender, and I think this is a Tele. It is. How cool is that? Black finish, matching headstock, Telecaster custom. So this is a 1960 Telecaster Closet Classic. So it's got a deluxe Closet Classic finish. It's a black Closet Classic finish, so it's got the usual light wearing that the Closet Classic finishes do. This also came in. This came in yesterday, actually. So yeah, local chap to us. Lovely local chap, and yeah, he's sort of trying to sell this to raise funds for another purchase. The only reason he's selling it. But again, it's a great sounding Tele. 51 no-caster pickups. Fairly big neck, not too big. I guess that's a fullish 57 type neck, in my opinion.
It feels pretty chunky.
Yeah, it's chunky, but it's still got a slight V on it. But intricacies.
In the thing, but it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like this one at all.
There's definitely a V there. You can feel it, but yeah, what do I know? But yeah, it's a cool looking thing with matching headstock, and I love the whole matching headstock thing. So you'll notice by the cut there, we've had to change location because we are, we have stuff everywhere in the building at the moment, just to fit it all in. This is cool. That doesn't have its original case. That is heavy. But this is a 1974-ish Gibson Les Paul Custom, and I'll go through why we can't date it exactly. So the serial number puts it in the mid-70s range, but the potentiometers are dated 1970. So the potentiometers are earlier than the guitar is. Now the reason we know the serial number has to be right is it's got the patent stamped humbucker pickups rather than the patent sticker. So the patent stamped humbuckers came in and around with 74. So 74, 75. It's got a few changes. So the bridge and the stop bar have been changed. These stop bar posts are original though. They had been corroded according to the vendor. The vendor's owned it for a long time himself. Replacement Goto tuners. But it's a cool mid-70s Les Paul Custom, which are very popular at the moment. So we have yet again another really cool Fender Telecaster, and this is cool. So this is Masterbuilt by Dale Wilson. And Dale Wilson Masterbuilt Fenders are, well, if you look online, they're not cheap at the moment. I think starting price for a new one's around 11,000 at the moment. But this is mahogany bodied, but it's really lightweight mahogany in this TV yellow relic finish. Really cool finish. Seymour Duncan bridge pickup, and we got the P90 at the neck with this sort of custom designed tele pick guard, which I think is a really cool design actually.
Kind of reminds me of that TV Yellow Junior we had a couple of auctions ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that's what it is. It's going for the whole TV Junior kind of thing, but in tele form. The neck is solid rosewood, so solid Indian rosewood neck. There's the Dale Wilson signature on the back of the head. So that is a really lovely thing with the original case and all the papers. So here we have an artist associated guitar, not artist owned, but artist associated, limited run. And this is a Warren Haynes ES335. So this is based on his 1961 Gibson 335 that he used quite prominently in Government Mule when he played with the Grateful Dead and sort of other projects. Allman Brothers bands, that's it. So there we go, limited run of 500 made, and that is in superb condition. So limited run of 500, and I think I've said it before and I'll say it again, anything artist related in limited numbers always seems to be a really, really good investment. It can be artist dependent, but as a general rule, anything that sort of the main manufacturers like Gibson and Fender bring out, if they have some kind of artist association, they are made in limited numbers. More often than not, they go up in value quite significantly as well. I mean, look at some of the really prominent artists like the Jimmy Page Gibsons, which they were 5,000 new, and I mean we sold one a few years ago for 10,000, for example, but they're even more now. You know, so I mean, some are changing hands for 15 to 20,000. Astronomical figures, you know, in relative terms to their new price. But obviously there's, you know, with that artist association, they seem to be good investments. So this could well be one of them. So you'll notice we've moved again. And here we have another Gibson, another Les Paul, and this is a 89 Les Paul Standard, and it's original with the case. Cherry sunburst finish, quite dusty. You haven't photographed this yet, have you?
Not yet.
No.
Played it though.
Played it. I did have it apart earlier, hence the strings being very detuned, just to check everything's okay. This has got the sort of the Lawrence circuit board pickups in. So yeah, 89 Gibson Les Paul Standard in fantastic condition. Gibson, ooh, look at that. Naughty me.
left that as a job for me.
You love it when I do this, don't you? Had this apart earlier in a mad rush. I've left it to Mr. Cameraman to restring it before he photographs it. But so this is a 1977 Gibson Les Paul Deluxe, and you'll all see straight away what's wrong with it.
Why has it got humbuckers? It's a deluxe.
Exactly. So the cavity's enlarged, and this has got Mojo 59 vintage PAF pickups in. It's actually got its original pots, so the pots have survived, 77 pots. The top has been refinished, so refinished gold top. I've got a Goto bridge here, and the tuners have been replaced as well. Gibson Deluxe tuners, but they are replacements, or there's certainly been another set on there at some point. And in a case, marked Gibson. So yeah, player's grade 1977 Gibson Les Paul Deluxe with a maple neck too. This is not something you will see every day. If you've seen one and played one, why don't you tell us in the comments and tell us what you think. So this is a 1960s, mid-60s Welson Kinton K4 in this gold sparkle finish. It's got these really cool controls, these rocker controls, and they all work amazingly, because most guitars like this that come in, they need some kind of work and prone to going wrong. But the K4, so that signals the 4 pickups. They had various different ones, but these were made in Italy, and yeah, something a bit different for your collection.
It's glam.
It is glam, very glam. So here's a nice entry for the jazz guitarists out there. This is a Herb Ellis ES165 signature model. So this is Gibson Memphis, this one. It's a sunburst finish with the maple body, mahogany neck, rosewood board. And this one's from 2006, I think it is. 2006 Herb Ellis ES165. Popular thing.
That was a lovely top on that.
So there we go, another Fender. This a late 70s, so this one's from 1979, natural finish. I think it looks really cool against this, the black plastics. Another job for Chris to do. That's obviously come off when I was checking it, but yeah, I've had all this apart as well. So everything inside is original. The only changes are the strap buttons. They've been changed. Typically heavy for a late 70s guitar, but
it's a really heavy one.
Yeah. Helps with the tone, some people say. Yeah, nice thing though, nice original example. From the same year, we have another one. So this is again, this is original apart from the strap buttons again that have been changed. So this is a 79 Strat. It's about the same weight. I think that looks so much cooler though.
I don't want to sound negative by saying it, but it's like a custard finish.
It is.
As soon as you open that case, I was like,
Nothing wrong with custard. Lovely, lovely custard.
It looks great. It's a really, it looks so cool.
But it's a really, really good look. Again, original apart from the strap buttons. The case, which is quite nice, is actually a slightly earlier case. earlier 70s case, the orange lining. I love these cases with the Fender logo. In this period they did change to a more dark maroon red interior, sort of plastic ABS style. So yeah, not a nice case. I mean, the case is worth a bit in its own right, but case 79 Strat, and a really cool look with the off-white finish and the black guard. Now this really is rare. So I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure that there was less than 30 of these made. So this is a Fylde Pack Leader. So it's the only solid body that were made by Fylde in around 1978. Now they are called the Pack Leader because they were designed by Terry Pack. Now, another weird coincidence. My spooky coincidence stories.
We love these. No auction's complete without one. I spoke to Terry Pack on about something completely different in the morning. We do know Terry, so completely different. I hadn't spoken to him in, I think the last time I spoke to him was at a guitar show when I bumped into him. So yeah, Terry speaks to me in the morning, and then in the afternoon a Fylde Pack Leader comes in that he designed. So there we go. One of those, another one of those spooky coincidences that follow me around. So these are the EMG Overland pickups. So Overland EMGs before they became just known as EMG. So very early EMG pickups, and really well made thing. Nicely carved, all made of mahogany. And there are less than 30, I believe, to exist. And we did sell one a few years back. Here's another rarity. Again, tell us if you've seen one of these before. You've probably seen one, but if you've handled one. So this is a early first year Epiphone Zenith. No, it's not. Zephyr, isn't it?
It's a Zephyr. There we go. It's an Epiphone Zephyr. Only thing that's not original is this plate over the pickup. I think it's had some refinishing. This, although it looks odd, is original. So there's a big hole in the back of there, so you can actually get to the electric. So it's useful.
It's weird. It doesn't look like.
Yeah.
It's almost like a factory afterthought. They went,
yeah.
Oh, we've put all this in. How do we?
Yeah. This is right. You know, they do have that. So, yeah, there is a first year Epiphone Zephyr, not a Zenith, with its original case, which is really cool because it's got the embossed E for Epiphone. So that's it, ladies and gents. Thanks for joining us again this week. We probably spent more time doing that than I thought we would, but yeah, we do have a lot to do, so we're going to get off and do some work and get this sale done and get the catalogue up online. We've had a lot more than we've just seen come in this week, some really incredible pieces that we haven't even shown you today. Like I said, it's going to be a huge sale. We thought last sale was huge with around 1,600 lots. This sale might end up being bigger. We haven't quite totted everything up yet, but it's certainly getting that way. It will be around a similar size, if not a little bit more. So have a look at the catalogue when it uploads. We're anticipating the catalogue to be up online the middle of this month. So sort of towards the end of next week, middle of the following week, the full catalogue will be online. So you can go to guitarauctions.com for the preview website. Then you can go to auctions.gardnerholgate.com or .co.uk, should I say, auctions.gardnerholgate.co.uk, and you can register to bid live through there, and then see the catalogue, request condition reports, which we encourage everyone to do. So lots of things to do, lots of things to catalogue still. So it's for the sale on the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th of September. As of next week, we're going to start uploading our video demos that have now been done. So first of all, we'll probably start with the Flying V special video. So look out for that. And if you want to be notified when that goes up, hit that bell icon. Please subscribe to our channel, like our videos. It all helps with videos going into the future, and you will always be notified. And yeah, as you can see, we've had some really cool things in, a lot more than we can even show here. You can see these racks are absolutely full, and this is just one of the racks we've got here. We've got 3 racks that are full to the brim, and then we'll have obviously the viewing downstairs. Viewing days are on the 1st of September on the Friday, and then the following Monday before the sale on the Tuesday. And please remember, the sale is on Tuesday for the first time ever, not a Wednesday. So 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th of September, the guitar auction at Gardner Holgate, and we really look forward to seeing you there. See you again next time.